KEZI 9 News this morning checks your weather and traffic every 9 minutes. KEZI 9 News reporter Deja Peterson is live in Corvallis, standing by with an update on Highway 34 and the closure there. First, we start with meteorologist Andrew Shipatowski.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. Well, we're still tracking flooding in the area, but there is some silver lining to all this flooding. This is the latest drought index, okay? So all that yellow is not drought. Well, it's just abnormally dry conditions. For the first time in nearly a year, we have no what we consider droughts in the state of Oregon. Yay, congrats. We are getting better, even with all the flooding in the area. So again, while we're concerned about the flooding and we've had such a wet month, it has helped us in the droughts, but we still have some ways to go in terms of breaking the abnormally dry conditions. But this is good news, actually, as we head in towards the summer months, as we're only about 1.5 inches below normal in Roseburg, North Bend, with more rain on the way. So again, even with the flooding around, we do have some silver linings. Now, let's get you the updates on that flooding. We do have flood warnings across the Willamette River here from Corvallis area. Again, still looking at that flooding concern here this morning. Now, the waters are going down, and that's good news. 34, though, is still closed in that area because of the flooding. You know, if you are going to take 20, plan accordingly, because this is what it looked like yesterday. Bumper-to-bumper traffic. It took nearly 2 hours for folks to get closer to the I-5 there. So again, plan accordingly this morning if you are going to take 20 to get closer to I-5 here this morning. Now, we do have not only flood warnings across the Willamette River, also have them across the Santiam River in the Lebanon Sweet Home area. Keep an eye on that. Plus the Middle Fork Willamette downstream from Fall Creek, because they're still releasing water from that dam. Again, still looking at high waters in that area. Now, we're also seeing, again, down in towards the Coos Bay area. You still have 42 South closed because of a sinkhole here. You can still see that. I think it's going to take some time before that road opens back up at this time. So we're keeping an eye on that. Showers this morning, a little bit isolated in nature to the north. Again, we're just expecting a few showers around, clearing conditions into the afternoon hours. Temperatures today going to be in the upper 50s with some sun breaks as we get in towards later today.
Highway 34 remains closed this morning. Big sections of the road still underwater, and Benton County has declared that local emergency. KEZI 9 News reporter Deja Peterson is standing by live there this morning on 34.
Brian, crews are out early this morning patrolling the highway, and they're only allowing us to go so far, given that part of it is closed. As you can see, Highway 34 is blocked between Peoria Road all the way to the Willamette River. And according to ODOT's Twitter, the reason for the closure is because of fast-moving water covering parts of the road. This will allow the county to be reimbursed if the damages exceed a certain dollar amount. A county spokesperson says the rivers are high because of the release of the water from dams in Lane County. Yesterday, the city of Corvallis tweeted saying river levels are dropping but remain above flood stage. We spoke to a couple visiting from Vancouver who grew up in Corvallis, and they say they've never seen the city like this before.
I've seen some low-lying water on the golf course when it's flooded, but not flooded all the way across here. So.
It's just crazy, destructive, and just wiping everything out. It's crazy. Gosh.
Benton County's PIO says the last time they declared a disaster was 2012, also due to flooding. And if your morning commute means taking Highway 34, please look for a different route. Reporting live in Corvallis, Deja Peterson, KEZI 9 News.
Heavy rain over the past week has overwhelmed the Willamette River, leaving roads washed out and some people stranded. Some flatlands have become islands. Residents who have lived in the area for decades say they haven't seen water this high in years. Back in 1996, from Portland to Salem and everything in between, parts of the region were underwater.
We had one opportunity to get out of Corvallis, and that was through Highway 20 in Albany. And this was completely shut down, and the Marys River and everything else was all shut down.
How does this compare?
It's not quite as bad. We had the snow melt as a part of the 96 flood, and so it was deeper and wider.
ODOT crews have been working on Highway 34 for the past few days, making sure debris is clear so when water is finally receded, drivers will know whether the road is safe to drive. Take a look at this video from the Oregon State rowing team. They had to practice yesterday on the flooded golf course in Corvallis. The team captain says they usually train on the Willamette, but the current is too fast right now, so they had the idea to head to the golf course right next to the OSU Rowing Center.
We were stuck indoors on the rowing machines, and frankly, we just saw the opportunity to come out on the golf course. Not too many people can say they've rowed on a golf course, so a nice cool down after practice, so to say.
The captain added the last time he heard about anybody rowing on the golf course like this was during the 1996 flood. Stay with KEZI 9 News for our continued Oregon flooding coverage on air on our website, KEZI.com, as well as Facebook and Twitter. Police say a man was intoxicated when he hit a bicyclist and then took off. Investigators tell us they found the 27-year-old cyclist on Chambers Street south of West 2nd yesterday morning. He's expected to be okay. They say his bike was severely damaged and they found part of a car headlight nearby. Not long after that, they say they found Christopher Ross nearby trying to change a flat tire. They say his car was missing some parts and had damage consistent with the crash. He is charged with hit and run, DUII, assault, and reckless driving. The U.S. military is entering a new era. President Trump's transgender military ban is now in effect. Those who want to serve in the U.S. military must adhere to their birth sex. This change comes nearly 2 years after President Trump tweeted that he wanted a ban. Some say the ban will force transgender people to lie about themselves.
When you can't live in your affirmed gender, who you are deep inside your soul, it affects your ability to do the work in a very good capacity.
The National Center for Transgender Equality says roughly 15,000 transgender individuals are in the military, although they say some are not open. There are some exceptions to the rule that blocks transgender individuals